Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 26 of Phoenix Wright's Trials and Tribulations. Last time, we finished up the second investigation portion of this trial, the final one. We learned about Viola's past, basically how Tigray caused her accident, how he owes her family lots of money. Basically, Tigray cornered Phoenix in Tribulations, had Armstrong help beat him up, and we managed to recover the evidence thanks to the gumshoe. Anyways, let's get going.
Good morning, Maggie! So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well, and then ended on a giant mystery.
That's true, and we still haven't solved a single part of it yet.
Are you okay, Nick?
Huh? Oh, yeah, of course.
I saw that little flash of down your eyes.
No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination.
Why don't I believe you?
It's
nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you.
Hey, pal! Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie yet. She doesn't need that. How do you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Oh. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Yeah, maybe this'll help.
Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too?
Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me you don't remember this thing. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. This is the full bottle that turned up in JVN kitchen a couple of days ago.
Wow, look at these little bottles!
Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor.
Hey, wait a minute! There's one bottle that's different from all the others.
Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either.
And it doesn't smell.
We finally got the analysis back from the lab.
So, what is it? Is it the poison?
I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication.
Medication?
Yeah, for years. Topical use only, apparently. For years? You mean? Yeah, it's the medication Glen was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glen ear medication doing in the kitchen? What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but... that's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, Val, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, got it? Today's trial, I'm going to expose that guy for what he's done, or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. January 8th, 10 o'clock a.m. District Court Courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we will get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant pouring a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godo. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made effectively death in that ear.
It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick?
Oh, almost forgot to put the timer on. Ha! Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godo. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these questions. The old guy wasn't just throwing seeds in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it. Very well, let's the first witness take the stand. That's right, we get Armstrong. And you are? Oh, bonjour everyone! I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and head chef of La Tribulations and Enchanté. Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman? Oh la la, monsieur! As you can see, I am a pardon puggy gentleman known. On the day of the incident, you are in Trebian's kitchen. Isn't that right? With you, monsieur? Everything feels right. I am frightened on the inside. Meanwhile, God, he's like, oh dear God, where is that? Why couldn't it be like that time 5 years ago? Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? He's screaming on the inside, Phoenix. He's screaming on the inside.
Very well, your testimony, please witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Tribune.
We volunteers! At Tribune. When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art decors that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Perhaps that is what Loud Man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, and la glass. You would have seen everything in reverse, no? Mirror! Un grand mirror, la most enormous mirror. And suddenly the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it.
That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front.
What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
At Tribune. And who were the 2 customers exactly? Miss, of course, la young man who died, and la other not so young man.
You were referring to yesterday's witness, I presume.
What about the other man Maggie says she's on the table? Had an itch on my head. Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. Sorry, had to straighten my hair out. I saw a bunch under my headphones. We need some
hot image voice before we can bring him up, don't we?
I guess I'll just have to try using a different approach for the time being. You were experimenting with Art Deco. How come I never heard about that before today? You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur? Please stay on top. Sorry, excuse me, just burped. On topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before? But I did just a few moments ago.
Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. The deco you mentioned. Are you referring to some sort of decorature?
No, Art Deco. It is a style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design, walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing.
Ah, yes, of course. That deco.
I was trying to achieve a more la effeminate look to my restaurant. All the pink wasn't doing the job for you. I was planning the most bold remodeling of la decor. Like having a large mirror between the la tables, for example. How big a mirror are we talking about here? Both. Something about 4 meters wide and, about 2 meters high. Let's see if 1 meter is about 1 yard. Holy glass in a frame, that's huge! I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. Miss none, but I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? Press it! If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie's Bird's testimony. But...
Objection!
You didn't ask it right. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? A mirror was delivered to Tribune on the day before the incident.
Really?
As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Tribune, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Ha! If you want to doubt someone, Wright, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough.
So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in the mirror.
Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object. Normally. How does normally come into this? That's lame, right? Even for you. Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it is impossible? Is that it? Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer and the top-notch chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? Where, right? Ugh! Not the hair!
I do not have a
Says the girl with a top knot.
But Mr. Goto is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument.
Bien, logic as one letter. And meanwhile, Edgeworth, he's shuddering. Everything? He would have seen everything in reverse. Oui.
Hey, Nick, we should take a second and think about what old C said in his testimony.
How do you phrase it again?
The boy was wearing the iron piece on the same size as the green ones on the spec. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand.
If he saw everything in the square reflection in the mirror, then everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, right?
And that clears up all the problems in his testimony, I guess. Or does it? Ha! It's kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of the mirror, but
You gonna see he saw everything through a reflection?
if he did, he would explain all the contradictions in his testimony.
There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We gotta go deeper.
Okay. I think basically what we're trying to say is that Victor, his table, basically if we were looking at the table, you would have to be sitting at the table behind, in front of Glen in order to see it from that point. So, but the vase is still up. So, the witness statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, but I can't see anything faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Wright.
Ugh, I must be on the wrong track. Okay. Oh, great. We're in one of these. This is one thing I don't... what do you think about the wizard?
I'm not sure I follow you.
It clearly contradicts the, I thought...
You don't sound very sure, Mr. Wright. Objection overruled.
Oh, crap in a handbasket. Okay. Okay. Okay, hopefully this is it. Oh! Okay. Oh, what is it? What is it? Okay, as much as I hate doing this... Gotta do this. Okay. Come on. Oh god, I'm gonna get a game over with John Armstrong! No! Like I said, the thing is, it couldn't be done because of the mirror! Okay, come on. Well, you're seeing a guilty verdict! Your Honor, that's image challenges this evidence. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Really? Objection overruled. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright. That's enough! The court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the fact. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird. The accused will surrender to the court immediately, to be held pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. This court is adjourned. Come on! Every game, I must get game over. Luckily, I saved. Okay. Okay. I swear, I feel like I'm going insane! Really? What am I missing? I swear. Yeah, okay, really, what am I dealing with? What am I dealing with? Okay. Really? I think we're mad. Really? What is this? Ugh. Darn it, stupid freaking things. That's right. That's right. I'm freaking desperate at this point. I need to just do a quick little reminder of basically just seeing just what's going on. What am I missing? What the freaking hell am I missing? Okay. And I think I deserve to at least have that sort of thing. Okay. Come on. Okay. Really, but what am I missing? Okay. Oh! Oh, right. Okay, that's what it was. Sorry about that. I know it's shameful. I had to look something up for once. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyways, apparently we gotta present Glen Elg. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Crew's testimony for a second, shall we?
The boy was working here on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question about it. You can lock me if I'm wrong. He's left here without doubt.
Alright! Swear I am a moron! So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Crow saw all that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement, you see, monsieur? Now that you think about it, that is not so hard, no? Okay, now I'm on track. I actually can get through this trial pretty easily now. Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Crow really did see everything in a mirror, why is it the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Order, order! Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflecting in the mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye. How bitter. Tonight you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume. I broke the vase. Sorry, apology, Mr. Kuro's sworn testimony. Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg? Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD had made a big impression on the old man.
I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear. Don't you hear? His left ear!
Ha. Well, Trite. Ugh. That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever.
Wow, I really thought he was OC for a minute there. Go, that's good. Go, was good.
Enough! I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Look like the boil of your contradiction you found just rash.
A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court, we're all ears. Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at the plans of Le Restaurant. Now we're getting to what I was thinking about. Basically, Victor could not have been sitting at the table because the table that would have allowed him to see. Basically, if a mirror was there, Victor would have had to be on the same side of the restaurant as Glen Elg, the table in front of him. However, Victor knocked over the vase, so thus it should have been knocked over. It's not knocked over in the photo. Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? La mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of la victim. That was the seat at the table next to la victim. That was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved la mirror so that it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. I see no problem with the explanation we just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror. What a naughty little croquette I am, confusing all the men like this. Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. Ugh, I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror? Are you quite sure about that? Volunteers, of course! Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. Okay. Yes. I believe this is the one we're going to have to press. So I can only see the victim from that particular seat. Miss, monsieur, it is obvious, no? If you look at the plans, you will understand. La victim would have been reflected in the mirror like so. If you were sitting at the table next to him, you would have seen everything, no?
So that's the OG was in on that day when the poison happened.
The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim. Why does that seem kind of odd? Boom, there we go. That's what I was thinking. I had to make sure, though. Your Honor, Mr. Kudo's words yesterday strongly contradict Mr. Armstrong's testimony. This is the letter of apology that was written by Mr. Kudo, is it not? I realize it looks useless, Your Honor, but this is still testimony. Ha! I guess useless people are only really good at identifying useless things. What relevance does the scrap of paper have to do with the trial, Mr. Wright? Mr. Kudo's testimony is actually very relevant to the question at hand, Your Honor, because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. This piece of evidence contradicts with testimony we have heard, Your Honor. The crime photo. Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist? Ha! Sounds like you're describing yourself right. Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. Okay, and simply put, it's right here. It's this flower vase. There's one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all. Don't be an idiot, Wright. That's impossible. That's it. The only one could have been... CzarThwomp, stop messing up my lines. I'll make you drink the ketchup. That's it. The only one could have seen the victim's reflection, bro. Exactly. There is only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Tribulations on that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie.
Mon Dieu!
Don't try to confuse the court, Wright. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase where the police were taking their time digging to the crime scene. Unfortunately, Mr. Godo, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary, in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Gah! Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to our original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he couldn't hear? Ha! You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, right, then the problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it.
Are you gonna be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick?
There's more than just one contradiction, Maya.
What do you mean?
Remember what Maggie told us. There was another man at the victim's table, and there was a sample CD on the victim's table, and it all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradiction in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. The victim was a phony. This case is riddled with contradictions, yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up. And that is, the incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glen at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Order the court, settle down, or I'll clear the courtroom. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? What did you say? That's right. Are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretending to be Glen acted out the whole coffee poisoning, all for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo. Get real, right? Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Guido was most insistent about in his testimony was
The servant girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's the servant girl right there in the defense chair. I remember her well.
It's so hard to believe, but there was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee. Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but it's also true that the chef was there. He would have had noticed what was happening.
That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Oh la la! This is most difficult for me. No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Tribulations that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened.
The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day.
Ooh, oui. In the restaurant. La victim, Monsieur Elg, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There was no other customers. When he got well, he won the lottery. Monsieur Elg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later than the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do the acting.
Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all.
Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What have you just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide I'll punish you later.
Oh, oui.
For now, we will hear your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. Anyways, I believe that now would be a good time to end things off. I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer. If you come back for the next one, if you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want with us. See you later. Bye.